Danielle Harris has so many horror movies that I have never seen. And luckily, I'm going to review another one today called The Black Waters of Echoes Pond. So anyway, let's do this. The Black Waters of Echoes Pond stars Danielle Harris, James Duvall, Robert Patrick, and is directed by Gabriel Bologna.
Careful what you roll.
I love this game.
It's my island, my rules.
What's up, guys? Welcome to a patron request review. This is for Carson Drometer. This is a movie that came out in 2009, starring, it's got a pretty good cast in it. I'd say they're mostly, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but like mostly B-level type actors, and that's just career-wise, okay? I'm not like, when I say B-level, that's not like me knocking their talent. It's just their status, right? That's what I'm saying. Although Robert Patrick is in this, and you can tell that he probably shot a couple of days and then got the hell out of there, because I think there's like one shot where he walks in on a kill, but you don't see him in the same frame as the kill. It's more of like an insert. And then, yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, he definitely wasn't there on that day. But anyway, diving into the review, let's give you a quick plot synopsis. The Black Waters of Echoes Pond. It doesn't really roll off the tongue, okay? It doesn't, but that is what it's appropriate. It's, you know, it's plot appropriate, right? But the plot of this movie, the very beginning, it starts out, I think hundreds of years before, or maybe, let's just say it was quite a few decades before, right? Richard Tyson is in the beginning of this movie. If you don't know who Richard Tyson is, if you've never seen 3 O'Clock High, then what are you doing with your life? I constantly try to get you guys to watch it. It's a guarantee. I'm giving you a guarantee, okay? Buddy Revell. He played Buddy Revell, one of the best freaking villain characters I've ever seen in my entire life, all right? And you should be ashamed of yourself if you haven't seen 3 O'Clock High. There's like this expedition at the beginning of the movie. They come upon this island, and there's, let's just say there's a curse on the island. And of course, it affects them. And according to the curse, they end up killing each other. You know, think of this as very similar to like a mixture of The Thing with maybe The Ring, as far as, you know, the curse itself. But, you know, there's a lot of paranoia involved concerning the people that are on that island and that are cursed. All right. So then we fast forward to the modern day. This came out in 2009. This young group, they're wanting to get away, kind of like a little vacation, and they go to this island, of course. And the island is owned by Pete, played by Robert Patrick. So where the movie really kicks off is one of the characters finds this, let's just call it a coffee table, because he goes down into the basement, goes behind a couple of boards that have been nailed up, and then brings out, it looks like a coffee table, and they're all sitting around there. And there's a good like 30-minute portion of this movie where it's just very dialogue heavy as they're playing the game, and it starts affecting their minds and makes them turn on each other. It has some good character work in it too, if you're able to look past some of the production limitations. You have one couple, Kathy and Trent. Kathy played by Danielle Harris. Trent played by Walker Howard. Trent is an interesting character at the beginning, because he has this friend who he helped get this job, and there's some jealousy there. And that plays into his weakness with the game. You got some relationship issues here with a few of the couples. There's like a twin group that they're dating these other two guys. And there's a part in the movie where, let's just say, seduction plays a part, and jealousy. One of the twins gets jealous that he wants to sleep with the other twin, as you can imagine. Just scratching the surface on all these issues, because I think that is one of the movie's strong points. James Duvall plays Rick. He is a pivotal character to all this. You can call him kind of the anchor, because he shows up sort of uninvited. And then once he gets on the table, Kathy, Danielle Harris, she has a history with him because her brother died, you know, because of a drunk driving accident, and she blames him. You get where I'm going? So there's just a lot of drama, and I think that's perfect for this game that brings out the worst in people, even making them homicidal. Now, jumping into the pros, and by the way, Sean Clark actually co-wrote and co-produced this, which that was a nice surprise. Because Sean Clark, we all, horror fans, we love him. He's such a big part of the horror community, has his own YouTube channel. And it's cool to see that he's got some creative juices flowing. That's a weird way to put it. I'm sorry, Sean. And that's a pro because I like this story, and I think if this would have been in the hands of, and I don't want to blame the director of this movie, but I'm just saying, I'm guessing that Gabriel Bologna, a director, goes into a film wanting to give it their all, and of course they're fighting time and they're fighting money and limitations, and that's here on the screen. You can definitely see that. You can see the limitations in, like, say, the lighting. There's a lot of like white backlighting in the woods, and it definitely has kind of a novice approach. These are young filmmakers making this, and I don't fault that at all. I think there's a lot of passion in this movie. You can tell all the actors, I think, are giving it their all. Danielle Harris, I think she does a damn good job in this, actually. And I say actually sounding like I don't think she's a great actor, but there might be times where I'm like, is she really a good actor? And then, she'll pull out another great performance, which she does. Check out See No Evil 2. She was in that movie, and I thought she was really great. But yeah, I enjoyed watching her work in this. I think it has some visually interesting scenes. Especially concerning like the twins and when they are taken over by the curse, and they have these black eyes with it looks like, let's call it demon mascara. Okay, as far as the violence and the kills go, most of the kills are off screen. That doesn't mean you're not going to see some really graphic imagery in here. Yeah, there's definitely some blood and graphic imagery, but I think I would have liked more kill shots, I guess, and you don't get as much of that, and I'm guessing that's probably because of the budget limitation. That's my biggest con of this movie, but I don't fault low budget independent horror movies. I guess I'm not as hard on them as I might be for one of the bigger studio like Blumhouse type movies. I can see the passion, and if I see that goes a long way with me. And I'll just say this right now, if this story would have gotten in the hands of like a big studio, and like a James Wan getting behind it, I really dug the story. I think it could have been a home run. I mean, this story fits right in with a lot of the demon possession, curse type horror movies that we see these days. But you can definitely see the penny being pinched in every turn, every direction. Sometimes even in like sound design when they're around the game board, and you can hear some heavy echo in the room, and that stuff does kind of stick out a little bit. But overall, I still had a good time with this movie, and I like the last act too. It does go kind of hard in the last act, which is good. So I'm gonna give it a high humdrum. All right, and I definitely recommend checking this out. I found it on one of those like deep cut apps, like I think it's Awesome or Fossum or something like that, because I did like my search on my Roku app, and it showed me which apps had it, and sure enough, I found it for free. So yeah, definitely check it out. The Black Waters of Echoes Pond. I remembered it. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, we do Free For Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums and on my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me a coffee. Become a channel member. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, and Drumdum out.